Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Lupine Fiber Crafts. It is April 15th, and the weather's been really crazy. I'm sure everybody in the United States has seen that, so I don't even know why I have to comment on it, but I'm still wearing a heavy sweater in April, which is kind of awesome, but I also really need to get into my garden, so I'm a little bit worried that I'm not going to have time to do all the things I need to do. Because we're coming up to the end of the school year. I'm trying to work on my seniors to get them ready for graduation, and the idea that adult life starts for them really soon, and some of them are starting to have some stress about it. So I know that the next 6 weeks before graduation is going to be really busy, and I'm nervous that the garden is going to lag. So it's going to be an interesting next 6 weeks. So you can, for folks that are returning to watch another episode of my podcast, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Welcome back. And if this is the first time you're watching, thank you for joining us. And please hit subscribe down below so that you can watch future episodes. So let's get right into it. So I have no finished objects this time around. I have been dyeing more than I've been doing anything else, and yeah, but I really have some cool dye stuff to show you. I also have acquisitions. The acquisition section is going to be kind of big this time. I know it's my year of not buying. It's not working out. I gotta tell you, it's not working out. So in the last few weeks, a friend of mine and I have gone on a trip to Fort Wayne, Indiana, to a place called Simply Sock Yarn, and it's a great store. It's really, really a cool store. So I have some things to show you from there, and I also went to the Greencastle, Indiana Fiber Festival yesterday. And we had beautiful weather. It was supposed to rain the whole time, but the weather ended up really being beautiful. And I went with a friend who is not, she's crafty, but she doesn't knit. She crochets, and she doesn't really crochet very much. And she bought some stuff too. There were some really beautiful vendors there. And I'm really proud of Indiana. I'm really proud of what some of the farms that we have going in Indiana, and how much beautiful stuff is being made here in our state, and I wish I would have explored this more earlier. Maybe it's been going on a long time and I just haven't noticed it. So let's get into some of the things that I'm working on. Let's talk about whips. Hi. Okay, so one of the whips that I'm working on most are the fragmented socks from volume 4 of Lene magazine. And I finished one sock. I'm pretty happy with it. I like this pattern. It's a really simple repeat, and so I made it longer because I like longer socks, and so I did an additional repeat. So you're supposed to do this section, they only should be that long, the legs should only be that long, and so I did an additional, I doubled it, because I really like long socks. And and it has a heel flap, which I do like heel flaps. And if you remember, this was the first sock. Oh, I also did a different toe. I don't know if I executed this toe right, but I did a square toe instead. And I decreased it a little bit more, and I made it kind of pointy right there. So I've got these little points. I kind of have, my feet are more, they're not like super pointy. I have more Fred Flintstone feet. So this toe might work pretty well for me. We'll see. Maybe it won't, and I'll leave this type of toe behind. But this is, the cat has found, I don't know if you can hear this. Here's Gracie trying to get into the fluff that I bought. You'll see more of that later. Gracie's a sucker for fluff. Okay, so if you remember from the last episode, this is the first pair of socks that I have gone down a needle size to make them a denser fabric, and I'm really happy with it. I did not change my stitch count at all. I did 64 stitches just like I always do with a sock weight yarn, and I'm really happy with the fit, and I'm really happy with the fabric and the way that it turned out. So this yarn, by the way, is Little Red Bicycle, and the colorway is Malevolent Maleficent. Malevolent Maleficent? Am I saying that right? So this was an acquisition I got a while ago from a super great friend who was destashing, and boy did all of us really benefit from her destashing. She's a really good friend. She's the one that she's also an enabler in all senses of the word. She's the one that I went to Simply Sock Yarn with, and I'll tell you about that when we get there. So this is Superwash Falkland Merino and 25% nylon, 460 yards per 100 grams, and I'm really happy with it. So I have just cast on the second one. Little bitty cuff here. These are cuff down, and I can't wait to wear them. So I should have these finished in the next week or so, I'm hoping. So I'll have an FO for you next time we meet. Another whip that I have is a sweater, and this sweater is made with some yarn that I dyed. This is merino, yak, and silk, and it was a gray color to start, and I just love the way, I just love the color. I love the way it turned out. So I am making, let's see, where is the name of it? So I'm making a Hearthstone by Isolde Teague, and I have cast it on, and so this is a bottom-up sweater, and it's really bunched up on this. I really experimented with my swatch on this one. This is what it looks like knitted up. Oh, you can kind of see the light through it, can't you? This is what it looks like knitted up, and I'm really happy with the stitch definition, and it is so silky. It bloomed really, really well when it was washed and laid flat. So I'm super excited about this, but I did 2 or 3 swatches to make sure that I was getting what I wanted. So here we are. Got my cute little stitch marker. I have absolutely no idea. I don't remember where I got this. I've had it for years. This little skull stitch marker. And I have a cupcake stitch marker. Alright. Cupcake stitch marker. So those mark the sides. And I'm going to make this a little bit longer. I don't know if you've ever seen this sweater, so let me try to see if you can see it on. I love the decreases right there going to the collar. I really like that. Let's see. Oh, here's a really beautiful picture. Isolde there. So that is the sweater I'm making, and very excited to have it done. And the way the weather's going, I'll probably be able to wear it for about 2 or 3 more months. So, Heatherstone. I have 8 skeins of this, and I'm really happy it all turned out. So I dyed it twice. The first dip was light and it was still really beautiful, but I wasn't really completely happy with the color. And so I redyed everything again, and I'm very happy with my recipe. The recipe for it is all of my skeins, I had to do it in 2 batches. So here you have 2 batches in my dye pot twice, and I still got very consistent color. So, and this is not a straight color. I did blend this color out of 2 other colors. So this color is made with a periwinkle and a teal, and I'm going to show you those separate colors in a second so you can see what went into it. But I love it, and I'm really happy with the recipe, and this is definitely going to be a keeper. I'm gonna be using this recipe again. So that sweater. Another work in progress that I have is the rug, the cat rug that I'm making. And you can see I've made some progress on it because yesterday one of my acquisitions was a new hooking needle. And you can see it's much bigger. And I'm really, really happy with it. So last night I sat with this and was hooking. Yeah, I was hooking. And the stitches, the loops are so much nicer, and I'm really, really happy with it. I don't remember if you remember from last time, my hand was getting really kind of sore from using the old hook. It was really small. So I'm very excited. This worked really well, and I was able to take out the old cat because I didn't like the way that looked, and I redid the whole new cat in a very short period of time, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So I'm happy, and I'll tell you where I got this from later because I got some other stuff from them. So that's a work in progress. And I'm still working on my my Hermione's Everyday socks. They're in my car. I have made some additional progress. I'm on the foot portion of my second sock, so those will be on the feet soon. I will be able to wear those hopefully in the next week. I have some car time today, and I'm having dinner with my family, so I'll probably be able to do some knitting during that time. So I have finished, I guess, I don't know if this is considered a finished object, and I might have shown you this already. So sock blanks. I had dyed some sock blanks, and so this is nylon and merino, and this is one of my sock blanks. And this I told you is a combination of periwinkle and teal, and I just want to show you those two colors and where they are on the sock blank, so you can kind of see. So this is the teal. Sorry, I have some light behind me. This is the teal, and this purple color is the periwinkle. So it's the combination of those two colors that created this, and it's actually a lot more periwinkle, this background color, than teal. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So here's my sock blank, and I did some speckling. I'm still not happy with my speckling, but I'll get there, right? So I did some speckling. So this is going to become some socks. So I started swatching with this too. I started swatching with this indigo sock blank that I dyed, and this was just 2 dips. I think I told you about that. It was just 2 dips, so there's nothing fancy about this. So they'll just be blue socks. To get like the technique of working with indigo in my own kitchen, how to deal with that. And it's really dark for 2 dips. So I swatched up these socks, and I must be a really loose knitter because I'm down to double zeros in order to get the heaviness that I'm getting from those fragment socks that I showed you, the thicker ones, and I'm actually going to try triple zeros. So it is just such thin. It's such a thin sock yarn. So I don't know if I'm happy with sock blanks. I don't really know how many sock blanks I'm going to do, or I'm going to find a different source for my sock blanks, because I do like the idea of doing a sock blank like this and kind of creating, a cool design and then knitting that into the sock, or putting a little message in there for the friend that you have in mind for it. So we'll see. We'll see. My jury is out on sock blanks right now. So another thing that I don't remember if I showed you this, but I have had that Ross Farms Shetland sitting around for a year and a half waiting for me to dye, and I found what I'm going to do with it. So I dyed this up. I'm really happy with it. This beautiful orange and chestnut color. I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy. So you will see something cast on with this soon, but I have to dye it up first. That's my works in progress, I think. I frogged those mittens, and I need to restart those, but they're not started again yet. So, that's all my works in progress. I will be starting a new shawl soon too. A friend of mine saw my Find Your Fade shawl, and she loved the colors and the way that they were coming together, so she asked me to make her one, or make her something with those same colors. I'm not going to make her a Find Your Fade. I'm going to make something different using that same color palette because I still have enough left over. That was made with Madeline Tosh Merino. Tosh Light. I think it was Tosh Light. And just such a beautiful colorway, a set of colorways. She really liked it. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I think I know, but I'm going to swatch it up and see what I think. So now is the moment of a slight amount of embarrassment. Also, it's like 80% excitement, 10% embarrassment, and 10% trepidation. So it's acquisition time. So I told you my friend and I went to Simply Sock Yarn, so let's start with that. So we actually made 2 trips to Simply Sock Yarn in Fort Wayne. So we went so it was a really rainy day, and so we went, and it was a really nice drive. And I haven't gotten to spend time with my friend Christine very much lately, so it was a good, it's a couple hour drive over there from where we are in Northwest Indiana. So if you are not familiar with Indiana, we are an hour outside of Chicago. I live an hour outside of Chicago, and we're very, very, very close to Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan is like a 10-minute drive for us, 10-15 minute drive for us. And I've shown you some videos of that. Fort Wayne is like on the same, is this latitude or longitude? It's like the same whatever it is, whatever this is. But it's 2 hours away. So it's on the other corner. It's in the other corner, it's the northeast corner of Indiana. So it's a couple hour drive. And we got some really nice time to talk, and it was really fun. So we go in there, and there's so much, guys. There's so much. It's so beautiful. So we went and we did some shopping, and then we went to this diner and we had some lunch. And I bought something this beautiful green color that I'm going to show you, and Christine was like, "Oh, I really wish I would have gotten that other thing." And now remember, we enable each other quite a lot in our group, so I'm like, well, let's just go back before we go. So we went to Simply Sock Yarn twice. We went twice in the same day. They laughed at us when we walked in the front door, but it was pretty funny. So let's show you. I don't have plans for most of this stuff, you guys. So this Malabrigo, this color, you guys. Oh, this green. So this is Malabrigo sock, and it is superwash merino wool. And as I've been exploring socks, I like nylon in my socks. So I will not be using this for socks because there's no nylon in it. It's 100% superwash merino. But I will be using it for something else, and I adore this color. Don't you think it would make a beautiful scarf or shawl? So I will be gorgeous. So I got 2 skeins of that. I also got this lovely stuff. This is from Flock Fiber Studios. So these are these beautiful blues and browns, a little bit of that periwinkle that I really like so much. There's a little tiny bit of some pinks in there. Can you see those pinks okay? So this colorway is called Flowering Desert. It's her hem, I don't know if it's a woman or a man, Lone Pine Singles, and it's from, can you see that label? Flock. So we'll see what happens with this. This is also 100% superwash merino. Again, won't use it for socks, sorry. Sorry, Simply Sock Yarn. This one's not going to be socks either. Then I got this stuff from Gail's Art. Did I get this? No, this is from a different acquisition. I showed that to you already. I got I have so much yarn, it actually falls into my other yarn. This is Miss Babs. So this one is from Miss Babs, and it is Lost Treasure. Cute, right? Cute. This is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards per 115 grams. This will be socks. And this will be the first time I ever make anything out of Miss Babs. So I'm really looking forward to see how this turns out. I really love the colors, like these, especially this color with this color right here. I really love those two colors together. So I'm very anxious to see what this looks like in socks. That'll probably be my next cast on for socks. And then I got my big project. I'm gonna go get the swatch. Hold on. Hi, I'm back. So this is, so I got some skeins of, so I got this from Lichen and Lace. I had never seen Lichen and Lace before, and boy do I like Lichen and Lace. I'm Lichen Lacin'. Lichen and Lace. I will be buying the stuff a lot. This colorway, this totally dragged me in. This is like, this was one of the first things that I picked up when I walked in the store, and it killed me. So these gorgeous reds and gray. So it's grays and kind of browns, and then there's this little bit of this kind of tealy green color. I guess it's, yeah. Oh, so I'm making a sweater. I'm crazy. I'm making a sweater out of tiny yarn. It's going to take me forever. So they didn't have enough of this in stock for me to buy just this to make this gorgeous sweater out of. So I went and found, so this is from Primrose. These are older labels from Primrose, I think, because I have some other Primrose and I have different labels on them. So this colorway, oh, I forgot to tell you what that colorway was. Seagrass. Seagrass. Yes. So I found this one, and this is Seeing Red from Primrose, which is slightly variegated, right? Really beautiful. So these two together, oh, the cat's in the fluff again. Oh, she's actually in the fluff bag. So these two colors together, guys, what do you think? Oops, dropped it. This might be a better end to show you. Oh, this is just making me happy. Super happy. So I have swatched it up. What did I do with the swatch? There it is. I'm going to do some stripes. So I'm going to do a sweater that is a red yoke. I'm making this up. I don't have a pattern for it. So it's going to have a red yoke and then start striping as it goes down, and it will not fade. It's not going to be a fade. It's going to be pretty distinct stripes, just like this is. This little guy out of the way. Okay, so it's going to look like that. The red, bringing these two together, this red really brings out more greens in this, in the Lichen and Lace, skein. So I'm really, really happy with it. I'm going to be making this sweater on ones, on US ones. So God, this is going to take me a long time, and I might need to buy some more of this. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm pretty excited about that. Really, really excited about that, actually. So that was my trip to Simply Sock Yarn. Yeah, that was a trip. I really had a great time, though. We found this really cool diner. It was a delicious food, too. So it was a really fun trip all around. So then yesterday, we went to the Greencastle. This weekend was the Greencastle fiber show in Greencastle, Indiana, which is probably like about maybe 45 minutes west of Indianapolis. And so I bought some stuff. I've just resigned myself to the fact that maybe I won't buy other things in my life, but I'm probably going to buy yarn, or things to make yarn, or to dye yarn, or to spin, or do things like that. I can easily repair other things. Like I have to buy a new water softener. I'm buying a new water softener this week. And I have to have that. Like we have such hard water in Valparaiso that it's going to start damaging my pipes. It's going to damage my washer and dryer and my dishwasher. So I have to get that. But I don't have to buy other things. I don't have to like buy new coats. I can repair coats that I have. I can repair jeans. I have plenty of pairs of jeans. I don't need to buy any jeans. So fine. But I guess I'm going to buy yarn. I guess that's just not something that I guess I just don't have any willpower. Oh well. So went to this show and started out. Briar Rose was there. Was that Briar Rose? Yep, Briar Rose fibers, which I like. I've definitely gotten some Briar Rose stuff before, and because I already have some Briar Rose yarn in my stash, I decided not to buy any yarn, but I did buy this really cute project bag. Oh, I have a theme with my colors this week, guys. Oh my gosh, look, it's like a perfect match. It's a perfect match. So I got this really cute project bag, and with just green dots on the inside, and it is just a cute little sock bag. So I got that. Briar Rose. I then saw this woman. I'm not sure if she's been coming to this show a long time, but we ended up talking to her for quite a long time. She has an alpaca farm in Indiana, and so she's Anderson Alpaca Farms, and let's see if this says where she's from. It doesn't say where she's from. So they were super duper nice. These two women at this booth were awesome. It was also the last day of the show. It was only a 2-day show, but it was the last, I don't know, it was probably like 12 o'clock. And they were making deals because they didn't want to drive anything home. They wanted to have an empty car going home. So they were making deals. So I got some alpaca merino. It's an alpaca merino blend. And it doesn't say how much is, I think she said it's like 80% alpaca and with a maybe more. 89%. Oh yeah, 89% alpaca and the rest is merino. But she has her, so this is what it looks like anyway. I guess I should show you that. Okay, so it's this beautiful kind of brownish color. It's just a beautiful color. The merino was, so the alpaca, it's the colorway is Lala. And I don't remember the names of her alpaca, but the L's are the moms. And the A's, I think it's Abigail and something like that. The A's are the kids, the babies of the L moms. So the L moms and the A babies both contributed to this, and I got 4 skeins of it, and it is 90 grams, and it's 150 yards. And I got this for a steal. Like I said, they were making deals, and I thought I lowballed her when I said, well, I'll give you this for 4 skeins. These were the last 4 skeins that she had too of this colorway, and this one won't happen again. This blend won't happen again. So I thought that I was giving her like a way low number that she would never agree to. Said the number and she said, yep, sure, take it. Like, great. The cat was just trying to get on something. So I got a deal on this stuff, you guys. So even if I wasn't in acquisition mode, I would have bought this anyway. So super happy with this. It is so soft. Oh man, I love alpaca. I had an obsession with alpaca when I first started to knit. I'm sure that that's pretty normal because it's so soft and squishy, and It's really easy to knit, and it's so kind to your hands when you're knitting it. So I know a lot of people that love alpaca. And oh man, so we're driving down to Greencastle, and there's alpaca farms everywhere. Like we're driving down this country road. We were driving down 231. We're going 231 south between Lafayette, Indiana, and Greencastle. Like they're lined up longitudinally. Is this latitude and this is longitude? So longitudinally, they're lined up. And alpaca farm, alpaca farm, alpaca farm. Did not see sheep, saw tons of alpaca. So happy with that acquisition. I think that's going to be a nice sort of cowl. Maybe I'll make a cowl out of that. And we went to the rug hooking booth. And I don't remember the name, but I will put it up because I have their card in my wallet. I forgot to grab it. So that's where I got this rug hooking hook. And so we were talking, and she was working on this rug. It was gorgeous. It's red coxcomb flowers. And if you're not familiar with coxcomb, the coxcomb flower looks velvety to begin with. And she was using these wool strips that looked gorgeous and very, very velvety. So her rug was combinations of green, black, reds, and some taupes, and it was a really beautiful design. So we're talking about it, and I told her that I loved some of her designs, and they reminded me of Heavens to Betsy from Rhinebeck, that I have bought some things from in my previous trips to Rhinebeck. And she said, "Oh, Betsy's like one of my best friends. I love Betsy." So I got to talk to her for a while, and I bought some wool. So I got these colors in wool. And originally I was just buying these. So let me see if there's a better way for me to show you these colors. So you buy 5 and you get 1 free. And these are really fat quarters, fat yards. Let's see if this helps. Okay, so I was buying these colors. Although the yellow is pretty complementary to the purple, I felt like I needed another kind of bright color in this mix. So I went and got this red, very red orange color as well. So those are my colors. I have no idea what I'm going to use them for. Did not buy it with a project in mind at all. So got that stuff, and it was a deal. This was by far the most expensive thing. This was a far more expensive tool. But boy, for the wear and tear it's going to save on my hands, I'm really happy with it. I feel like this was money well spent. So then we went to, let's see. So we kept walking around. We had some lunch. The food, if you are part of Greencastle Fiberfest, I would suggest, the food wasn't bad. There was just very little of it, and maybe 3 vendors is enough for food. Okay, so I cook for a living, so maybe I'm hypercritical. But it was extremely slow service, so we ended up not waiting to get food there. So if you're from Greencastle Fiber Festival, please get another food vendor that has a different variety, and also maybe some vegetarian options, and works a little faster. Because man, we waited a long time, and we ended up leaving the line. So we went to a restaurant after that. Then we went into the second barn. So there's 2 barns at the Greencastle Fiber Festival, and the second barn. Oh no, I bought this too. This was from the first barn. So Polworth. I have never spun Polworth, and I really want to start trying different breeds, spinning different breeds. So I got this and this blue colorway. So this is from Frabjous Fibers. What is Frabjous Fibers? I have no idea what that. Can you guys read that? I don't know how to pronounce that. So this is the Midnight colorway, and it is Polworth, and 4 ounces of Polworth. Hand dyed in Vermont. I thought they were more local, but they're not. That makes me sad. I wish I would have just bought from Indiana or Midwest next time I'm going to be a little bit more. This was the first purchase, so I went into this with like, oh, I want to buy everything eyes. But I like the color. Anxious to do some paw work. Then, okay, so second barn now. Fast forward, second barn. I went to this booth, Skoog's Sheep and Cattle Company, and they have Gotlands. So this was Martin. I talked to Martin. Isn't that sheep just gorgeous? Oh, what a beautiful sheep. So they moved here from Sweden, and they have not, they don't have a flock yet over here in Indiana. Or I guess they're in, are they in Florida? Weird. They came all the way to Indiana from Florida. That's crazy. But they just moved here, so they left their flock behind, and they couldn't bring their flock with them. And so they brought everything that they're selling right now is still from their old flock. So Gotland, I've never done anything with Gotland. So I got this color. And I got some locks. Got some locks, and let's see if I can pull out one of the locks. Get a nice lock here. So pretty. Can you see it? So pretty. So I got a few different colors of locks, and I will be trying to spin some of my locks into this. And that was that's a bargain. Again, it was like a real bargain. Maybe they think nobody in Indiana has any money. And so look, everything I feel like I got for cheap. So there's that. So that was from Gotland sheep. Okay. So then we continued walking around that barn. I missed the Leading Men Fiber Arts. I totally missed their booth. It's a tiny show. I don't know how I missed their booth. I wish I would have seen it. Saw that my friends bought some stuff from them on their Instagram page. I'm like, how could I have missed them? Oh well. I also got some soap. Oh yeah, here's my soap. So we got some soap. Oh, it smells really good. I can smell it already. Okay, so this is from Simple Soapworks. Okay, and I got almond and cedarwood amber. And yeah, Simple Soapworks. Great. They had a lot of targhee. They didn't have any fluff. They only had finished skeins, but they were selling mostly targhee. Some targhee silk blends. But I decided I had bought enough. I was done shopping. And you've heard me say this before. Then I went to the next booth. And this was, I bought a fleece. Smells like sheep. My living room smells like sheep now. This is some Shetland. So it's dirty too, guys. So I bought some Shetland from Wolf Beach Farms. They're actually in Greencastle. And so I talked to the guy for quite a while. He and his wife were manning the booth, and they started their farm in 2015. And they had just a few animals. They're up to having, he left his job, she kept her job, and they're up to having 300 animals now. And that's a mixture of all their animals, including chickens and turkeys and things like that. But they have a wide variety of sheep. They have some Wensleydales, they have some Cormos, they have some Shetlands, but they also they found somebody that's raising Shetlands in Indiana, so this is what I got from them. Pretty anxious. Let's see if I can tell any other color in here. Oh, it's really sheepy, guys. It's really sheepy in here now. Oh, look at this. I love this color. Urgh. So much lanolin. This is one of the locks. Oh, can you see it okay? I love that color. So, he told me that they do have Shetlands on their farm, and some of the wool that they had there, some of the fleeces that they had there were from their Shetland flock. But they also are buying wool from a Shetland farmer here in Indiana that raises the Shetland for meat. And he was shearing the sheep and then literally throwing it away. And so he now pays for the shearing, and he goes in and pays for the shearing, and then he gets to keep the fleeces. So, you know, there's definitely some good and bad about that. So I got this for $20. I got a Shetland fleece for $20. The bad part of that is that because that Shetland farmer that's farming for meat is not interested in the fleece, he's not crossbreeding to create the best fleece possible. So it's still beautiful. It's still going to be amazing. I really still love it. But I'm not so sure if it's a really good example of Shetland, of what the Shetland breed can do. Like if you were to get some Shetland, like the Shetland from Ross Farms that I'm dyeing, which is this one. This is Shetland as well, right? So this is the Shetland. So I'm not sure how it's going to compare. So I think I'm going to actually send this away to get milled. There's a new mill in Michigan, really close to us in Bridgman, Michigan. And I might send this to them to process and see what it comes back like. So I got a Shetland fleece. Now, just doing the processing, I'll spin it. I do want to spin it, but they can wash it and comb it or card it for me, because I still have that whole Leicester long wool in there. I have 7 pounds of Leicester long wool that it's clean, picked, and is getting combed and carded. It's a project. You've noticed I haven't shown that to you yet, because I'm avoiding it. I need to get into it. So found the fleece, kept walking, and was once again done. And then I came across, and I've been following them on Instagram already, but Two Dye Crew, Two Dye Crew, that's funny. So the Two Dye Crew, natural hand dye, and so these were natural dyes. Everything here was natural dyes. Oops, can you see that? And they have a really cute business card. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. So I loved this purpley gray color. So it's this is called Gothic, and it's 437 grams and 100 yards. I don't love that it's superwash, but it's okay. Superwash merino wool, it's 20% yak, and it's 10% nylon, so it's got really nice spring. It's really beautiful. It's lustrous, and it's purple gray. I don't think the purple is coming out quite as much as in the screen as it on the camera as it is in real life. So this is mostly it's gray with purple undertones. So yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to make with this. No clue. No clue whatsoever. I just bought it because I like it. I'll come up with something, right? I'll come up with something. But what I was also interested in is what did she use to dye this? So I asked her to write down, and she did. I was kind of shocked that she told me what she used to dye it. She said they don't use iron, they don't use metals as their mordants, or as their mordants. So she wrote down the natural stuff they used, because I really do like this color. This was the last skein of this too, so I only got one skein, because God knows I probably would have bought a whole sweater quantity. But the prices were good enough that I got away with, I probably spent like $250 there, maybe $200. When I did the final tally, I think it was like $200. And I got a lot of projects, so, but I went to Simply Sock Yarn, the week before, and I spent more money, so the acquisitions for this month have been numerous. So I need to not shop. No more yarn shopping this month or next month or the month after that. Okay? Work with what I've got. So that's what I'm doing. Those are my acquisitions for this month. And I don't think I have anything else to talk about. Is that it? Is that it, Grace? I think that's all. Well, thank you for joining me, guys, and I'll see you in another month.